Tonight's Watchdog Report takes us to Columbiana County, where there are concerns for the well-being of inmates in the county jail.
That jail is the only privately owned jail in Ohio, meaning the sheriff's department doesn't operate the jail like they do in Mahoning and Trumbull counties. After months of investigating, we found the jail is below average in meeting essential state standards, from the health and treatment of those behind bars to overcrowding and lack of staff training.
A lot of the inmates would rather serve their time in a state prison as opposed to that jail.
Among the concerns, untrained staff, use of excessive force, and lack of proper health care. Examples like these and others are reflected in a federal lawsuit filed in 2022 that alleges mistreatment and wrongful actions in the Columbiana County Jail that led to an inmate's permanent brain injury. The lawsuit alleges jail staff was denying former inmate Gavin Heine medical care and treatment, despite his obvious need and requests, and by subjecting him to malicious use of excessive force while he was seriously physically ill. Attorneys call the alleged findings utterly intolerable in a civilized society and a violation of his rights and established law. The lawsuit goes on to state Heine was detoxing, and there was an alleged series of failures, including not properly assessing his health needs, that ultimately led to cardiac arrest and diagnosis of brain injury, an injury so severe that his charges were dropped and he could no longer face trial. In a completely separate incident earlier this month, 21 News obtained this body cam footage after two corrections officers were accused of assaulting two inmates. This footage shows one of those incidents. Our anonymous source in law enforcement with firsthand experiences in the Columbiana County Jail says he's witnessed similar issues.
Their overcapacity and the lack of training that the officers have is concerning. You're going into an environment that you don't even know how you're going to be treated. Am I going to be sleeping on a bed, or am I going to be sleeping on the floor because we're overcrowded?
He adds inmates are not getting fresh air or access outside, and has witnessed questionable use of force.
When an inmate gets tossed on the ground, when he's cuffed, just the way they're treated is just big. I mean, how could that not bother somebody? You know, if it doesn't bother you, to me, that's an issue.
Just last month, the state reported the jail was not complying with 32 jail standards out of the 146 set by the state. Almost half of those infractions were considered essential, meaning they directly support the life, safety, and health of jail inmates. The average number of infractions is 6. In Mahoning and Trumbull County, the jails are meeting all essential standards in 2024, with more than double and triple the amount of inmates. Back to Columbiana County, where the state inspector found a lack of proper medical policies like inmate pre-screening.
If you're in there and you have a lot of drugs in your system or alcohol, without the proper care of a detox, you could potentially die. I mean, if you're having a medical episode and no one is there to intervene, that could be fatal.
Now, the jail provided records showing proper training for corrections officers is scheduled in January for those who have not received it, and inspection infractions are being corrected. Tomorrow at 6, hear from the warden running this jail on what improvements are being made and the sheriff, who feels it may be time for the county to take over.